Arutprakasa Vallalar Chidambaram Ramalingam, whose pre-monastic name was Ramalingam, is commonly known in India and across the world as Vallalar. He was one of the most famous Tamil saints and also one of the greatest Tamil poets of the 19th century and belongs to a line of Tamil saints known as gnana siddhars. The Samarasa Suddha Sanmarga Sangam was spread and passed on by him not only in theory but mainly in practice by his own way of living, which was itself inspiration for his followers. Through the notion of Suddha Sanmarga Sangam, the saint endeavored to eliminate the caste system. According to Suddha Sanmarga, the prime aspects of human life should be love connected with charity and divine practice leading to achievement of pure knowledge. Early life: Ramalinga Swamigal was the youngest child of Ramaya Pillai and his sixth wife Chinmaya, who lived in Mayuda in South Arcot district, a village 15 km northwest of Chidambaram. Ramaya Pillai's first 5 wives had died childless and in quick succession. Chinmaya, however, bore him 5 children. The older ones were 2 sons, Sabapati and Parasraman, and 2 daughters, Sundaramal and Unnamoli. They named their youngest child Ramalingam. Notable happenings during childhood: when Ramalinga Swamigal was 5 months old, his parents took him to the Chidambaram temple. It is said that this infant laughed aloud when the priest offered the traditional Disappearance to the Lord. This apparently routine visit to the temple thus offered him his first spiritual experience as well. In later years he said of the experience, "No sooner the light was perceived, happiness prevailed on me, the sweet nectar was tasted by me as soon as the Arutprakasa became visible." In 1824, the very next month, his father Ramaya Pillai died. His sudden death forced a helpless Chinmaya to shift to the residence of her mother at Chinikayavanam. After 2 years she shifted with her eldest son Sabapati and his wife Parvati at Vallalar Vasitha Elam, 31/14 Virasamy Pillai Street, 7 Wells, Chennai 600,001. When Ramalingam was 5 years old, Sabapati decided to formally educate his youngest sibling, Ramalingam, but the young child however showed a deep disinclination towards formal education but on the other hand preferring trips to the local Kandasamy temple. Sabapati was convinced that the child was on a self-destructive path. As a punitive measure, he forbade his wife from giving Ramalingam his daily meal. His compassionate sister-in-law, however, surreptitiously fed him food and gently prevailed upon him to pursue his studies seriously at home. Ramalingam relented on the condition that he be given a separate room of his own. Now, in the solitary confines of this room, he set up a mirror and in front of it a small, lighted lamp. With these as aids he relentlessly meditated, and this was the beginning of the young boy's spiritual journey. The first reward came in the form of a vision of Lord Muruga. In the saint's own words, "The beauty endowed divine face is 6, the illustrious shoulders 12." His elder brother Sabapati was a learned scholar and Upanasaka. It so happened that once Ramalingam had to substitute for his brother at an Upanayasam session. His brilliant exposition and uninterrupted flow of words while enunciating a verse from the Parayapuranam, an epic poem by Sekhizhor narrating the episodes connected with the 63 Nayanas, amazed onlookers. Later his brother also graciously acknowledged the mental and spiritual superiority of his brother. Ramalingam himself expresses his gratitude to the divine when he says, "Effulgent flame of grace that lit in me intelligence to know untaught." As he made quantum leaps in his spiritual journey he progressed from being a devout Lord Shiva devotee to worshipping the formless. Totally averse to money, he was later on to shun food and even sleep. He renounced the world at the age of 13. Surprisingly he remained fit in form. A hurdle on his chosen path came in the form of a forced marriage to his sister's daughter. It is said that the bridegroom spent the nuptial night reading the Tiruvasakam. Possibly his ability to remain in fit form was a result of his supposed physical transformation. Teachings. He made an indelible mark in the religious history of India when he came out openly against its caste system and the negative impact it had on society. In an attempt to redress the situation he established the Samarasa Suddha Sanmarga Sangam in 1865, which means Society for Pure Truth and Universal Selfhood. He had also by this time shifted to a place called Karangazi from Chennai. His next step in establishing a practical approach to religion was the setting up of a free eating house called the Sathiya Dharmasala in a place called Vallalar in 1867, where all could eat without any distinctions whatsoever. Ramalinga Vallalar abhorred non-vegetarianism. In one of his poems he says, "When I see men feeding on the coarse and vicious food of meat, it is ever-recurring grief to me." It is significant that the land on which this eating house was built was donated by a few landowners. The register document is available for inspection even today, and the service of providing free food also continues to this day. Ramalinga Adigal opened the Sathiya Gnana Sabha at Vallalar on January 25, 1872. One of the primary teachings of Vallalar is service to mankind as path of moksha. He declared that death is not natural, that our life's first priority should be to fight death. He declared religion in itself is a darkness. He laid a very great emphasis on being vegetarian. He said God is Arutprakasa, who is personification of mercy and knowledge. He said the path of compassion and mercy are only path to God. In 1867 he established a center for feeding the poor people. On the inaugural day he lit the fire of the stone stove, with a declaration that the fire be ever alive and the needy shall be fed forever. Around 1872 he established the Sathiya Gnana Sabha, Hall of True Wisdom Forum, and ensuring it was entirely secular. This place is not a temple, as no offerings of fruits or flowers could be made, and no blessings were given. It was open to people of all castes except those who ate meat, who were only allowed to worship from the outside. He wrote in detail about the puja to be performed in Gnana Sabha. Those who were below 12 years or those who were above 72 years alone were expected to enter Gnana Sabha and do pujas. The oil lamp lit by him is kept perpetually burning. He said that our soul is blinded by 7 veils. There are 7 cotton fabric screens, representing the 7 factors that prevent a soul from realizing its true nature. The entire complex is bound by a chain with 21,600 links, said to represent 21,600 inhalations by a normal human being. He said intelligence we possess is Maya intelligence, which is not true, and final intelligence. Path of final intelligence is Jivakaranyam. He advocated a casteless society. Vallalar was opposed to superstitions and rituals. He forbade killing animals for the sake of food. He advocated feeding the poor as the highest form of worship. He condemned inequality based on birth. Today there are spiritual groups spread out all over the world who practice the teachings of Swami Ramalingam and follow the path of Arulparamjati. The most notable living siddhars of this age are Sri Pranasiddha, http, pranashakti.org/ and Sri Vedapalani Paranjothi Baba. Chennai Kandarkottam Kandaswamy Temple is located at Paris Corner in Chennai. At the entrance of the temple, there is a hall called Paravedan Mandapam. Sculptured image of Vishnu Vinaka in sitting and standing positions are kept on either side of the Mandapam. To the front of the Artha Mandapam, there is a Dwajastambam. The Mukha Mandapam is where the idols of Sarvasiddhi Vinaka, Meenakshi Sundareswara, Idumban, Sri Ramalinga Swamigal, and Pamban Swamigal are found. Ramalinga Adigal's literary works: as a musician and poet, he composed 58 18 poems breathing universal love and peace, compiled into 6 Timuragal, which are all available today as a single book called Thaya of Arutpa. Another work of his is the Manimurai Kandavasagam describing the life of Manu Nidi: Jivakarwanaya Watsukam, supposed physical transformation. Perhaps one of the most notable factors of this sage is the claim that he supposedly attained a divinization of the physical body. He attained a total of 3 transformations. His first transformation was the transformation of his normal human body into the perfect body, between the supposed attributes of this body a total invulnerability to everything, thus rendering him effectively immortal and impervious to any kind of damage, as well as having the attributes of being omnipotent, omnipresent and omniscient. This body is apparently made of divine light. Beyond this state there was a subsequent transformation by which the perfect body transformed further into the grace body possessing the following attributes: This body have automatically a young appearance like that of a kid, can be seen but can't be touched, and has complete and absolute dominion over all the siddhars. Even beyond the state of the grace body, supposedly there was a third and final transformation in which the grace body was transformed into the bliss body. This body is the body of the Supreme Godhead and is automatically omnipresent but can't be perceived by anyone. By achieving this, Ramalinga demonstrated that the ultimate states of spirituality can in fact be attained in this world with a physical body, and death is not a necessity to experience the ultimate spiritual experience. Ramalinga Adigal's disappearance. On January 30, 1874, Ramalinga raised the flag of brotherhood on his one-room residence Siddhi Vallalar in Mettukuppam on October 22, 1873. He gave his last and most famous lecture, entreating his audience to undertake a spiritual quest and look into the nature of the powers that lie beyond us and move us, and asking them to meditate on the lighted lamp from his room, which he placed outside. Adigal on January 30, 1874, entered the room and locked himself and told his followers not to open it. He said that even if they did open it they would find nothing. His seclusion spurred many rumors, and the government finally forced the doors open in May. The room was empty, with no clues. The Madras District Gazetteer, published by the South Arcot District in 1906, records his disappearance. One Mr. Marzilamani, a photographer, tried 9 times to take a photo of Sri Ramalinga Swamigal, but he could not succeed. So Vallalar photo is not available. All available pictures of Vallalar are nothing but written by artists alone. This incident proves clearly that Vallalar attained Suddha Sanmarga, which is shadowless. His body became shadowless. His songs are sung in concerts, and now at least 25 songs are given with Swaratala notation. Taorji Tantiyamai, Idunalatarunam, Varuva is Hichivadi and Thainina Inikam. Some of his songs were set to music by Dharmapuram P. Swaminathan, Sarkazi Govindarajan, Calcutta K.S. Krishnamurthy. Guyavayapon Namal, Lalitha Seshadri, Malaya S. Sadasavam, Pramila Gurumurthy, Purasaya Ranajuri. Important books on Vallalar: Thaya of Arutpa, Aram the Umurai. Arutprakasa Vallalar, The Saint of Universal Vision by Versus Krishnan, published by Ramananda Adigala Foundation, Coimbatore 641006. Annamalai University's complete compilation of Thaya of Arutpa in all 6 the Umurai in 10 volumes. News, writ petition against Vallalar stamp rejected. On August 17, 2007 evening, Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu Dr. M. Karunanidhi released postage stamp on Vallalar at Sathiya Meeting Hall at 5:00 p.m. References. 26. A Rare Reminiscence on Ramalingam, further reading, Srilata Raman. The Spaces in Between, Ramalinga Swamigal, Hunger, and Religion in Colonial India, History of Religions 53 No. 1 pages 1/27. DOI, 10.1086/671248, external links, AAAAAAA, a registered trademark, AAAAAA, Vallalar website, all Sanmarga Sangam websites, Vallalar biography websites, Vallalar meditation.